Hi everybody, Honest John here. Full disclosure, I'm an atheist. I grew up a Catholic, went to Catholic grammar school, studied for a year to be a priest, went to Providence College, which is a Catholic college run by Dominican monks, and my mother was an extremely devout Catholic. So my road to atheism was not a casual or easy trip. But even though I grew up steeped in Catholicism, I never heard the phrase that you hear a lot nowadays. Christians talk about having a personal relationship with God. This seems to be a commonly used phrase these days. We saw God as distant, intimidating. We worshipped Him. We were taught that we should love Him, but we would never presume to be His buddy. Evidently nowadays, the people who are selling God have decided that a warmer, friendlier image is more marketable than the cold, remote, and often angry God that I was brought up with. Of course, since God does not manifest these days like He did in the stories of the Old Testament, He can be whatever you want Him to be. And your relationship to Him can be whatever you want it to be, since it exists entirely in your head. But if you believe the stories in the Old Testament, when God did manifest Himself a lot, I mean, He would appear in various forms, spoke to people, often telling them to do things that maybe they really didn't want to do. And He spent a lot of time punishing people, sending down plagues, covering people with boils, killing their loved ones, and engaging in the occasional mass murder. There's Sodom and Gomorrah, for example, where He wiped out 2 cities because He was unhappy about the way they were partying. And then, to cap it off, He turned Lot's wife into a pillar of salt. And He liked Lot. And if you believe the story of Noah, he drowned everybody in the world except for Noah and his family. I mean, that's a temper tantrum of epic proportions. And His chosen people, the Jews, didn't fare too well either. God was constantly punishing them, sending plagues, having the crops fail, arranging to have them conquered so that they would spend years as slaves. And even when, after He delivered them from slavery in Egypt, He led them around the desert for 40 years before they finally got to Israel. Now, if you take a look at the map, they're right next to each other. It's pretty much a 3-day trip. So I guess you can imagine you have any relationship with God that you want. But what the record shows, from Adam and Eve, to Jonah, to Job, to Lot, to Noah, to the Jews, His chosen people, and even His own Son, Jesus. If God does take a personal interest in you, He usually makes your life miserable. Thanks for listening.